If you are passionate about firearms, you should also be passionate about the types of caliber you use. One ammo type might be good for hunting or combat-specific applications, but they might be too powerful or too weak for home defense. In particular, home defense requires sufficient penetrating capabilities. That is, the ammo should be able to pass through drywalls without wrecking the entire thing in case you miss your shot. Now, there are several options we have for this situation, but in the grand scheme, only select calibers yield the most optimal results in terms of effectiveness and ballistic performance. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ted from Line 45. In this episode, I am going to list down the most effective calibers for home defense. I'm also going to give specific firearms recommendations for each of these calibers and try to see which one appeals to you. Before we get underway, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it is a chore, but these simple clicks help my channel immensely. Now, let's return to the video. 380 ACP. The 380 automatic Colt pistol, or the 380 ACP, has been around for over 100 years already. No cap, this cartridge is older than all of you watching this video. A brief tour of the memory lane would let you realize that this was originally designed for the ancient blowback pistols. By today's standards, the 380 ACP doesn't have the speed, power, or terminal capabilities that other larger calibers possess. So why still pick a 380 ACP firearm? My answer is simply, why not? Kidding aside, my reason for including the 380 ACP on this list is due to the inherent need of just having a firearm to rely on. As the saying goes, any gun is better than having no gun at all, especially if the situation requires it. My personal belief, and I don't compel you to believe the same, is that a 380 ACP is an excellent choice for a backup gun to your primary defense weapon. If push comes to shove, a 380 ACP pistol can still help you thwart some threats. The recoil of the 380 ACP is almost negligible because its bullets move at slow speeds. Slow speeds signify minimal recoil energy. We all know that. However, this doesn't mean that 380 ACP guns are flat shooting at all. One factor that affects the recoil of a gun is its weight. Heavy guns soak the recoil of the bullet, and most of these 380 ACP pistols are made from light materials. So, right from the get-go, you have to deal with its felt recoil. Fortunately, the kick isn't like a mule, so it's still bearable in my opinion. Plus, there's a chance that these 380 ACP bullets can't penetrate drywall. Much of the penetrating capabilities of 380 ACP rounds are often spent on their expansion. They don't penetrate deeply, so the wound channels they create aren't that harrowing as well. But in real-life situations, an assailant getting hit by 380 ACP rounds would still give up their evil motives and flee. Sure, you might not incapacitate them, but at the very least, you can scare them to death. Get the likes of the Glock 42, Ruger LCP Max, or the M&P 380 Shield EZ. These are some of the most ergonomic and refined shooters of 380 ACP rounds that I've ever tried. If you want an optics-ready option, you should check out the 380 variant of the Sig Sauer P365. 357 Magnum. The 357 Magnum seems to be an overkill. Others would say that the 38 Special would suffice, but then again, I simply have to settle on the idea that I might need it, and probably you as well. The thing is, I always keep revolvers that can shoot 357 Magnum rounds. Definitely it's not my first choice, but it also feels nice that I have the option where circumstances warrant it. The kick or recoil of the 357 Magnum is somewhere in the middle. Definitely it's stronger than the 9mm, but significantly tamer than the likes of 40 Smith & Wesson rounds. In short, the 357 Magnum is a good choice if you find the 9mm too light and you want a beefier bullet instead. There's almost a certainty that this particular Magnum round can penetrate dry walls, and if you are a good shooter, inflict more damage to your assailant. The key disadvantage of the 357 Magnum is its capacity. This round is for revolvers, so your limit is around 5 to 6 shots. Moreover, they are a bit expensive, more expensive than your typical 9mm bullets. I recommend that you buy in bulk so that you can save more cash. There are great time-proven options for revolvers chambered in the 357 Magnum. My personal pick will always be the all reliable Ruger GP100. It's affordable but has a premium quality on it. I like that it's heavy because it damps the recoil of the Magnum rounds. If you have the Bucks with you, the Manurin MR73 and the Colt King Cobra are pleasurable choices. These are some good revolvers that you can use to defend your property against four-legged or two-legged threats. 45 ACP. Going with the 45 ACP for home defense is always a good idea. This is the very cartridge that was first used by the famed 1911 pistols. It's a battle-tested cartridge, and it's safe to say that it has seen countless wars in and outside the United States. But you don't need to wage war to fully utilize the capabilities of the 45 ACP. Guns chambered in 45 ACP are highly sought after in the market because of their stopping power. They have more recoil on them than the 9mm, but with the right gun, this downside can be taken out of the picture. Many 9mm ammo these days may perform better than the 45 ACP. Still, the 45 ACP reigns supreme in terms of expansion. It has a larger diameter than the 9mm, which in turn allows it to create large wounds and significant tissue damage. Moreover, the 45 ACP is designed to be inherently subsonic, and that's a good thing. It has a minimal velocity, which means that when you attach a suppressor to the gun's barrel, the noise would probably not disturb your neighbors. Furthermore, shooting in narrow spaces and tight rooms can be painful to the ears. Hence, you would really benefit from the likes of 45 ACP pistols. It doesn't penetrate deeply as well, but it's a good thing especially if you are trying to take down someone without inflicting injuries on bystanders. Keep in mind that the 45 ACP is a costly option for ammo. It's almost twice the price as 9mm bullets, but then again, it's really up to you. If you have already weighed the pros and cons of 45 ACP and deemed that it works for you, then I have some recommendations. For those who want to avoid the 1911 crowd, go with the full-size Walther PPQ or the double-action, single-action Sig Sauer P220 Legion. There's also the Smith & Wesson M&P 45 Shield in case you don't want to spend heavily. For 1911-type pistols, savvy spenders have a bunch of options from Rock Island Armory. The Springfield Emissary is also a good choice, despite it having a price tag of $1,300. It's a good combat pistol with excellent ergonomics and accuracy. 9mm. The 9mm, formerly known as the 9x19 Parabellum, is currently the most popular cartridge in the market today. But there was a point in time when it was considered subpar by many. Eventually, it has proven its worth, and currently, it's being used by almost anyone in the American shooting scene, whether it's law enforcement or civilians like us. For home defense, the 9mm is definitely excellent. It has a moderate recoil that anyone can control, and control is essential for life-threatening situations where each shot counts. Of course, it has some recoil, but as compared to other larger caliber rounds, it's almost tame. In terms of stopping power, the 9mm is indeed ammo-specific, and many shooters have to know about this. The ammo that we have right now is truly steps ahead of what we used to have in the past. With these advancements, the 9mm boxes being sold in your local gun shops have stopping power that is arguably equal or almost equal to their larger counterparts. They have significant expansion, they shoot fast, and at the same time, they penetrate deeper. Hollow points are great here since we are just talking about home or property defense. Aside from the ballistic performance of the 9mm, I also have to indicate that most 9mm guns have impressive capacity. They aren't as big as the 45 ACP or 40 Smith & Wesson, so their mags can hold more rounds. During extended fights or prolonged combats, more rounds may mean a higher chance of survival or fending off threats, especially if you apply the stand your ground law. The 9mm is also very accessible and has a low entry point. You can have a stockpile of them without having to bust your wallet. Now, there are multiple 9mm guns you can use for home defense. Maneuverability is one of the most important things here, so I really recommend you try handguns, specifically the full-sized ones, for this particular activity. My personal choices would be the CZ75 SP01, Glock 17, or a full-size version of the Walther PDP. Compact and subcompact pistols are okay, especially if they are the only guns with you, but keep in mind that they aren't the easiest to control. My reminder is that you should get comfortable using them. Bring them on the range or do some dry firing until such time you can get the hang of them. But if you want more power and capacity, I suggest that you delve into these pistol-caliber carbines. They aren't rifles, but offer longer barrels for added accuracy, stopping power, and recoil control. I personally love my CZ Scorpion Evo 3S1 since it's very operator-driven and features impeccable reliability. But you can also consider the Sig Sauer MPX-K, especially if you are already keen on AR-15 controls. The Sig Sauer MPX-K can also be used with a suppressor and a folding stock. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more gun videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.